Not gonna lie, I did wake up with some generalized anxiety about finally deciding to pursue the jazz genre this morning. But after reading 10 pages of Yeonmi Park's Escaping North Korea, I realized that my feelings are not actually a real-world problem. Welcome back to the Breakfast Piano Project, where I'm motivating a mob of mediocre musicians just like myself with my millennial mindset. My name is Miss Lindsey. I'm a Piano with Jonny student and also a private piano teacher for those who don't know any better. Here's to another day in the life of me documenting one of my horribly run piano lessons in this YouTube piano diary. I've decided to start a new little episode series called Pajama Jazz. Jazz is an extremely authentic, almost religious-like experience that requires the removal of cultural superficiality. This means no lashes, no pretty tops, no fancy hair, because I am letting my true vulnerability shine in the dirty wild animal that I actually am when it comes to approaching the subject that is jazz. Now, to better acquaint yourself with those laid-back, chill jazz vibes, I think Bill Bailey said it best when he said,
The thing about playing jazz, you can play any kind of chord you like. Any old nonsense, really. People are going, yeah, nice.
Jazz is a weird time, okay? I literally did my junior college paper on why drugs were an important influence on the jazz era. And this topic wasn't picked, it was assigned by my jazz professor. Thanks, Mr. B, for the super fun class. From what I remember attending the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, my Jazz 101 class really tried to impress the cultural origin of jazz music so that the student could really intake the cultural vibe. Having roots in blues and ragtime, jazz was a lot about letting loose with the very prominent racist cultural oppression that was occurring at the time. What it led to was a movement of abstract thinking and melody lines that I call the genius genre. When I say genius genre, what I mean is that the melodies become so abstract that a lot of times you can lose track of the thought process of a lot of these composers. And sometimes, with multi-level layering, it gets too abstract for me to even follow. And then I feel stupid around my jazz friends because I don't like the melody choices. And the last time I tried to review jazz and the personal choices that a lot of these musicians make, let's just say it was a little slow on the intake. Yeah, I haven't touched jazz since 2018. And that's what brings us here today, is that maybe I can help myself get rid of that lost in space feeling when we really get going on some of these complicated jazz numbers. You know what I'm talking about. Those jazz numbers where some of these musicians are off visiting Jupiter or Saturn somewhere on a spaceship, and meanwhile, my musicianship hasn't even invented the wheel yet. I do have jazz that I like, by the way. It's just that I personally like it when we touch down in a major 7 chord a little bit more frequently than the 256 counts that John Coltrane is surfing the skies. Unfortunately, in order to argue the semantics of how jazz should be played, you have to learn the craft first before you're allowed to critique it. So I shall sit silently, shut up, and follow my lessons. Let's get started! Recommended by one of my favorite piano peers, Mr. Ramsden. He said I should take the 251s course. I've done a 251s exercise before, but I need to actually apply a longer thought process than every 2 years of studying the most common chord progression in jazz, which of course is the 251. If you don't know what the 251 is, you may need to review your diatonic chord sequences. My favorite book for brushing up on diatonic chord sequences and of course other key signature fundamentals is Alfred's complete book of scales, chords, and arpeggios. They put things really nice and easy for you. All right, I'm gonna enter my search bar here. Yes, 251 Rootless Voicings, the easy way out without precision or practice. Why is the search bar always lacking a sense of humor? Fine, you win this one, pwj.com. I will search proper. Oh, look, it's an entire course. We have so many hours of work to do. This is exciting. Let's go to lesson 1.
Welcome to Lesson 1, and where we are going to talk about what is a 2-5-1 rootless voicing.
I've got a question. Who the heck is John Paux? Yeah, outsourcing, are we? I'm gonna need to sign off on this. Oh, look, see, he's even got a little bio for us, and I'm sorry in advance for the pronunciation butchering that's about to occur. John Paux is a singer, pianist, composer, and educator. In addition to touring his own trio, John has performed with the likes of Anita O'Day, Natalie Cole, and Melissa Manchester. His 4 albums have garnered national and international acclaimed attention. Wow, that's incredible, and you want to know what? I think that's good enough. That bio seemed pretty fancy and had a lot of famous names in it. Now all we have to do is transfer our fangirl complex onto this guy. Now remember, class, fangirl complex is when we objectify the talent in front of us as better in value than ourselves. Show me the ways of your success, Mr. P. My education is in your hands.
Well, let's say we're playing a melody and we have a bass player playing the root. Then we would play, for example, the A voicing of D minor 9 with our left hand and play the melody with our right hand. Let's say we're playing like a stride kind of a feel, and we play the root of D minor here, and then we jump up and play a rootless voicing with our left hand. So that could be if we're playing solo piano, for example.
Mr. P, I like it when you dance on those keys like that. It makes my fangirl complex feel very well taken care of. Overall, lesson 1 is really not that difficult. This one was basically about just getting those 2-5-1 rootless voicings. Go take the course if you have any questions, and that summary that I gave you wasn't good enough. This is what it looked like my first time around. I wish I had more to show for my own talents, but this was just a basic 2-5-1 chord progression. My focus was basically just on where the changing notes were. I tried to go back and forth to really highlight those changing notes, and overall, lesson 1 is really not that difficult. Highly recommend for all ages. However, I did look at lesson 2, and that's where you bring it to all the other key signatures, and we will not be doing that today. Thanks, Mr. P, for such a great lesson, and I do have a question for you that you can leave in the comment below. You and Jonny label these voicings A and B, and they are very helpful in discerning what voicing choices we're making. My question for you both is, when working with jazz musicians, do I actually use the terminology A and B voicings? Because every time I talk to a jazz musician and ask them about their choices, they say something like, "You know what it is, man. You just gotta feel it." And that really isn't helpful to my organization process. Let me know what you think about professionally working with jazz musicians and how I should best adapt to myself. Anyways, kids, thanks for tuning in on my first episode of Pajama Jazz. I really just want to do a lot more low-maintenance style YouTube stuff. This is taking up my entire life, and I'm still not sure what direction we're heading in. I hope you found this funny, entertaining, and motivating along your own learning journey. I'll catch you guys in the next piano lesson.